Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're actually gonna go ahead and install something on the Z that I was not anticipating to actually do on this car, because I had picked this part up for the QX50, but they didn't fit. They were a little bit too small, and I went ahead and tested out on the M and also the Z, and I feel like it's fitting better on the Z versus the M. I mean, I could possibly still make it work on both cars, but it's not gonna be an exact perfect fitment. Now, this is what we're going to go ahead and install. These are M style mirror covers. These are actually meant for a Q50, and the reason I picked these up is because I thought they would fit on the QX50 because they're honestly like the exact same shape. It has a little curve right there, and then it goes back up. But the problem is the whole like facing part of the mirror is a little bit too short, so it doesn't fit on there perfectly, and it doesn't mount up to any of the tabs on the back that it had on here, but I already took them off because I was mocking it up and everything on the Z to see how it would look on here. It has 6 tabs. There's 4 in the middle, as you can see, where I smoothened it out. One right here on the side, and then another one over here on this corner. And it just is not the same at all. The ones on the QX50 has like, I think 2 tabs in the middle, and then it has just like 2 on the side. So they're completely off. They're not even in the exact same location. Same thing for the M. Totally different size. Didn't want to mess with this, so I just left it alone. But let's go ahead and check out the QX50 so I can show you guys what I mean on why these didn't like really fit, and see if you guys can see a difference in size. Alright, so here are the covers on the QX50. As you can see, they look almost exactly the same. Like if you look at the bottom right there, and this bottom piece right there mounts up just like that, then it curves up. But now if you look at it like at a farther angle, you can see that the ones on the left side look smaller, and the problem is right here on the side as well. You can see that there's a difference in size. It just was not fitting properly, and towards the back as well, it was hitting this portion right here, so it's not going to fit at all. The tabs are completely different, so in case you guys want to go ahead and pick these up, they're not going to work. And then same thing on this side right here. This bulge right here is like larger, so it would just keep hitting and it wasn't sitting properly. And as you can see on the side right here, it's completely off and it curves out, and this one is just like straight up and then curves up. So it's not going to work on this car. Now if we go to the M right here, this part right here, it curves and it hits the side so it doesn't sit flush. And then right here there's a big gap, and then right here just doesn't sit straight. So on this car it's not going to work either. It doesn't have good fitment, and I already knew these weren't going to fit on here really because the design is completely different. Now for the Z, you can see that there's a lot more coverage. It still has like that gap right there, but it's black, so it, you know, molds perfectly and it doesn't look horrible. So that's kind of how it will sit right there. And I had that extra 3M tape sitting around, so I was just going to test that out to see how it would look for now. And then I was going to buy some larger 3M tape. That way, if I decide to go ahead and keep it and not make any modifications to it, we would go ahead and just, you know, put that 3M tape on there because I already smoothed it out. But let me take off the 3M tape and show you guys how it would look if we stuck it on there. Alright, so here's how the mirrors will look. As you can see, they're off, of course, because it's not meant for this car. But I mean, because it's black, you can kind of get away with it. But I guess this video is more for you guys that want to buy this for the QX50, the M, Z. I already knew for the M and the Z wasn't going to fit, but I was pretty confident it was going to fit on the QX50, but I was completely wrong. It's way off. But it looks pretty sick though. Like look at that. And then look at this side. It's kind of boring, has nothing there. This side has more of an aggressive look to it. I mean, I could rock these for, you know, now, but you would have to make a lot of modifications to make this work, and it's gonna look off because you would have to cut this, but then it's gonna leave like a huge gap right here in a hole, and then same thing right here, and I have to cut that, It's gonna leave a huge gap right here in a hole. I decided to go ahead and cut this side right here a little bit. Actually, not a little bit. I cut quite a bit of it. You can see right there is a chunk, another chunk right there, and then a few pieces. And so far, it's actually looking a whole lot better. Like right there now, that's like completely gone. And then from the front, it looks pretty good. Right there, right there. The only problem is this right here. I'm not gonna be able to fix that. I could just cut like a very small portion right here. Like this lip right here, I could remove that. That way it doesn't look off. And then right here, I can cut a little bit as well. But it'll be very minimal, almost like nothing, as you can see, just whatever's past that line. And yeah, that's all we're gonna be able to do for that. But it doesn't look too bad. Like right there, you can see it actually looks pretty decent. I think it makes it look a whole lot better now that I was able to minimize the amount of space on the right side. But yeah, let's go ahead and cut this lip right here, extending out and just a little bit on the corner, and then we'll test it on. So here are the two mirrors side by side, so you can see how they look. This one I cut right there, has more of like a slope, and this I just made it go straight down. And this one right here, you can see has a bulge going out. And then this one curves like a little bit more to the left side. Remove that lip. And then the back side is where all those tabs are at. And you can see how many are on there. As where the QX50 doesn't have this many tabs, it honestly has like 4 of them on there, maybe 3. So these tabs you have to remove completely if you want to do this. And of course, this is not going to fit perfect. So if you guys care about like fitment and everything, this may not be for you. But, you know, I picked these up. I'm not going to have any use for them, so I might as well just, you know, put them to use by making some modifications to make it fit on the Z. Now, I could be wrong. I still do not think that they make M-style covers for the 370Z, and I don't know why, because I looked like a long time ago, and this is like a year ago maybe. I mean, from a year and now, there's a good possibility that they could have made some now for the Z, but if you want to get some mirror styles, they look a whole lot better. There's a carbon fiber option as well if you guys want to do that. That are just carbon fiber, has no like M, whatever you want to call this, is like fin right here on the end. You would have to make modifications to make it work. But this is pretty much ready. I sanded down the back portion just so it has a little bit more grip to stick on there so it doesn't fly off on me. But the wind should be going like towards it, hitting it, so I don't think it's gonna come off. I was thinking about using silicone and or 3M tape to make it stick on there so it doesn't come off. But I have to think about it, because if I do silicone, there's a good chance it's gonna leave like a lot of residue and it's gonna look nasty. But it does have like this protective on it, on the Z. Has this right here, so I could just put some right here, stick it on there, and maybe it'll stick and it won't come off. But yeah, I could just replace that too. I can get some carbon fiber ones in the future if it bothers me. If these comes off for whatever reason, give me an excuse to get carbon fiber ones. But yeah, let's go ahead and pick up that glue and or 3M tape, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I just got back from the store and I picked up this adhesive right here. And the reason I picked this up instead of 3M tape is because the 3M tape is not really going to get any areas that's not touching. And with this, it is. So it's going to stay on there. It's going to be permanent. I have never used this stuff before, so I'm hoping it works as, you know, intended. But we'll see right now. So my goal is to not drop this stuff. My goal is to go ahead and actually, you know, place this all over the back part of it. Already sanded it down quite a bit, as you can see right there. So we're just going to apply it all over, technically like this area right here and on the top. There's no point in putting anything right here because it's not really touching. And wherever we think is going to make contact at. So let's go ahead and start doing that. And then we'll try it on. If it works and it sticks on, you know, good, then we will go ahead and do the other one as well. I mean, it should, because it's probably going to ruin the front part of, you know, this right here. So let's see how this works. Okay, yeah. Let's put it all over it. I mean, I should have got 2 of them, but we'll see how this does. All right, so this is what we got going on right now to make sure that this sticks. I kept pushing it back. That says that it takes like 24 hours for it to be like strong, but to be at its absolute like strongest, when it cures properly, it's gonna take at least 72 hours. So good thing is that the car sits here honestly for days, and right now it's just curing. I push the mirror back, put this clamp on there that I had sitting around so I can grab on there, and I'm just making sure it's sitting where I want it. Taking off any glue that I don't want on here. I hope this sticks. I'm gonna be pissed if it doesn't. I'm gonna have to scrape that real quick. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it sit here. But it actually looks really good. Look at that. Looks pretty sick. Yeah, it doesn't look bad at all. Alright, cool. Let's allow it to cure. Alright, so here's how the mirror covers look on the Z when you're sitting in your driver's seat. And it doesn't look too bad right here. It does look a lot better. There's not like a huge gap like there was before. But on that side over there, you can see a huge gap, which will most likely bother a lot of you. It is kind of annoying, but it doesn't look too bad. It's not really noticeable unless you really like point it out and you look at it. But we'll check it out from the outside right now. I'm driving to a little spot so we can go ahead and, you know, park the Z and do a walk around of the car really quick. Alrighty guys, so here is the Z and how it looks with the mirror covers on there. From a distance, it looks really sick. It looks like these were kind of made for this car. But as soon as you get close, you'll see, you know, the fitment is not all that great. So let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. So like right here, no issues here. I can open the door with no problem. Let me open the door really quick. As you can see, no issues. Shut it, doesn't hit anything. So you won't have a problem with that. And then if you look at the fitment right here, as you can see, it just goes up and then it curves out right here. This is the part where you can see like the fitment is not all that great, especially from this angle right here. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It actually looks kind of cool that it has this part sticking out, making it look a little bit more aggressive. But here you can see this side, and then like I showed you guys earlier when I was driving the car, you can see a little bit on the inside right there from that angle, but it doesn't look horrible. I did clean it up a lot on the sides to make it look a little bit more decent, but it did stick out quite a bit. I think it stuck out to about right there, which is a huge difference. So that helped out a lot. There's like a few smudges here and there from the glue, but it all comes off. I just gotta go through it really quick. Like this right here, as you can see, it's already coming off. So it looks really good. I actually like how it looks, especially looking at it from the front angle. It gives it a really aggressive look. That looks so sick. It makes it look a lot more aggressive, like right here. You can see that. And then with the wing, aggressive splitter, makes it look really sick. And I'm honestly surprised that nobody has made covers yet for this car. I actually just looked it up a few days ago and I could not find any aftermarket mirror covers like this for the Z, which I'm really surprised on why nobody has done it, because I feel like the Z community would really purchase these because it does look really sick. It looks pretty badass. But we'll see in the future if my company decides to start making these for this car. The only reason I did this was because I was supposed to put it on the QX50, didn't work out, and decided to just try it on this car, and it worked. It's okay, not perfect by any means, but it's a cool mod that you guys can do if you want to add some M-stock covers on your Z. I think somebody messaged me on Instagram asking if this would fit on the M, and they won't. And the reason I say that was because when I test fitted it on the Z, if it's like flush, it has this right here that goes perfectly along the line, as where the M, when you would push it in, it would like tilt it to the side, and you could see a little bit of silver from my car at least, right here, which didn't look good at all, and it just does not sit well. So I wouldn't recommend getting this for the M35, M45, maybe even the newer models, which is like the M37, M56, Q70. They won't work on that car. I just thought I'd clear that up for you guys that wanted to get this for your M. It's not gonna work on that platform. But yeah, looks pretty sick. I like it. And I did drive over, I think it was 80 miles per hour on the highway. Didn't have any issues with these coming off. But again, if these do come off for whatever reason, the glue should be able to come off with like some adhesive remover, and or I could just replace the whole cover anyway and just put the carbon fiber ones that they sell for this platform, or even possibly upgrade to like some cool little ones that I've seen that you can replace the whole mirror, and it's like this smaller carbon fiber looking mirror that looks pretty sick. It's like a more racy style type mirror. That would be pretty interesting and cool to see on this car. But other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to these mirror covers. Hopefully if you guys like it, you guys purchase it, it'll help you guys out. I'll go ahead and link down the ones that I purchased, but like you guys saw, had to do a lot of cuts to make it fit how it fits right now, and it's still not perfect by any means. But other than that, that is pretty much it for the Z. The only other thing that I really want to do to this car is fix the caliper paint. If you look at it from right here, you can see that it's missing quite a bit of paint on the calipers, and I actually painted those myself. I would say about maybe like 7 years ago, since I technically got this car, because when I got this car, that was one of the first upgrades that I did to it, was upgrade the brake calipers and paint my headlights. Those are my first mods to this car. Everything else was completely stock. This is a touring model, so everything literally on the outside of this car has been modified, with the exception of the roof and the doors. Everything else has been touched. The fenders, the hood, the bumper, the rear quarter panel, the rear bumper, the hatch, the seats, everything has been touched on this car, with the exception of those two things. So yeah, that was one thing I want to fix. If I do paint the calipers, I don't know what color I would go with. I was thinking more of white and or something that would really pop, which I don't know what color that would be. And if I do change the caliper color, I would like to change the headlight color to something different. The cool thing about these headlights right now is it looks really sick with the red. It makes it look mean and aggressive. And if I do a different color, I don't think it would look as aggressive, but it will still look clean. So I really got to think about if I'm going to do that, because doing these headlights, it's not light work. It's a lot of work to be able to you know, change the color on these. You have to open them, which is a mission, and I don't think it's a mission that I really want to do. Make sure to add it in the comments below if you guys have any questions. There's a lot of things done to this car, and thank you guys for your feedback too as well. I've been getting a lot of comments on Instagram, on the YouTube videos, that you guys love the way that this car looks. And honestly, it's, you know, a lot of hard work to be able to make it look like this, because there's a lot of things that have been changed on it. There's still things that I could do to this car, but I don't know if I'm gonna go with that route, if I'm gonna end up keeping this car, because, you know, it's honestly just a car that I have sitting there, and I don't really take it out anymore, because you know, I have a family and I always have my kids with me, and I don't really think that this is really that convenient for me at this point, like to be able to have a sports car. So I was thinking about getting another sports car that has, you know, more seats, and that way I can utilize it more than I do this car, because this thing honestly sits there for days. Yeah, this car, it's cool. It's cool. A lot of people like it. It's a fun car, and you honestly can't go wrong with the 370Z. Such a beautiful chassis. Like, even if you look at a stock one, like, it's just so interesting and cool to look at compared to like all these other cars out there. Like, you can't find a car that looks as clean as like a 370Z, even just being stock. Throw some wheels on this thing, throw some suspension on here, and you're good. modify a few things on the exterior, make it look even better. But even stock, especially having a Nismo, can't really do much to it to make it look any better. Alright guys, so that's gonna conclude the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.